Now, the question for today is, are people actually happy? Now, it was told that way back in the day that were, if you ask women, like, are they happy, they would say yes. Yeah, if men were they happy, they would say, you know what? It's weird. They never really asked men were they actually happy. It was always about asking women were they happy. They figured like happy wife, happy life. So I guess they figured like asking women are they happy. I guess mirrored what the men felt. So if you ask women are they happy and they would say yes, then I guess the men would be happy then, right? Since everybody was married. And the thing is like, you can't really go on like if you ask women were they happy like in the 50s and 60s, if they say yes, then women would say, well, oh, they're only saying yes because they're made to say yes. Women didn't really have like their own say. They couldn't tell the truth. So because the pressure of upsetting the men. So you might say, well, they were only saying yes because they were told to say yes. Um, but if you poll women now, you ask them like, are they happy? Or if you ask men, are they happy? Say most men would probably say no. If if um if you poll men, single men, you say, are you happy? Um, People they would probably say yes. Like people who are like, they don't want to deal with women no more. They would say, yeah, I'm way happy. I got way more freedom. But then women would say that too. Women who are single and who are happy to be single will say, yeah, I'm happy too. Um, but when you poll, like generally, like you poll women, ask them if they're already happy, they will say no. You know, so were they lying then, or telling the truth now, or was they telling the truth then, or then telling the truth now? Like when were people like telling the truth? You know, a lot of times, like if you go to Saudi Arabia and ask a woman, "Are you happy?" Uh, of course, she's gonna say yes. you know, because like yeah, she would get beaten or something if she says no. so, but and then you might look at like, okay, well, our society is so advanced. Like, these first world countries, even though poverty is still there, homelessness is still there, drug abuse is up, suicide is up. We have a lot of advances. The fact that we can like, I remember one time I went to like this. It was like this African event. It was like this charity event for this like Ghanaian tribe or something. Um, and they needed money, I think, to build schools or something. And like it was like this food. This we was at this church, and they put all this food out on this table, and it was like fried fish and like rice and this salads and dishes and stuff, different types of food. And the African guy, he went up to like the African guy was the guy presenting and talking about his village and all the problems and stuff. And if like, and he went up to the fried fish and he was like, "What's this?" It was like, and the lady that was running the event was like, "Oh, that's fried fish." I was like, "Oh, okay." It's like he never seen fried fish before, and like we he ate most of the food. There was enough people there that they could eat it. And sometimes at charity events you don't have a lot of people, but um, um, we ate most of the food, and then they brought out some more food, and then the guy was like, "No, she said, what did he say? He said, okay, I don't want to eat the food because the food might run out. And then she said, oh no, we got more food in the back. And he was like, what? You got more food? And he was like, y'all got more food back there? How? And he was telling the story how like in Africa, like if they would get if like they didn't understand where the cows came from. Like they actually believed like there was these gods dropping cows off from the sky, and that's how they was getting a new cow. Like they would have a cow, and then another cow would come, and they don't understand where they was coming from. They thought it was gods doing it. They didn't know they had to make to get another cow. But anyway, so he was surprised that we had that much food. Cause like when you live in a village where food is scarce, food is like a big deal. Like when all you're doing is eating rice every day, having any type of other dish was like is like it it's like a miracle to have anything other than rice to eat. So, and then like when you eat that rice, that's it. You're not gonna have no more. Like like and then like I say, eating the same thing every day. You haven't seen that many different types of foods. Like everybody's eating the same thing. No such thing as like extras. You know how in America we have like side dishes and you have a 4 course, 3 course meal. Even if you're poor, you can have a 4 course meal. Meat, like a biscuit, like some vegetables, stuff like that. We have a lot more in America. And we have access to way more too, like internet and television and information and water, running water. I mean, and like clean running water. Like people don't understand. Like if one day like um all that shut down, would any regular people not knowing how to like run all that would, like I said, we can't live that long without food or water or sometimes electricity. So imagine if it all went down, would anybody be able to run it? And the answer is like, no. We would have to learn. We have to learn how the power plants work, the water plants, learn how the internet works, because it's not self-sustaining. We have to like maintain it. The population has to maintain all these things. So you need somebody to do them. And then, but the problem with, you say, well, we can figure it out. You say, yeah, but that's going to take time. It's going to take time to figure it out. So we have it pretty good, even though we have a lot of problems. But yeah, I've listened to like a lot of ideologies, different opinions and stuff. I've been down like a lot of rabbit holes. You know, I used to be kind of like, you know, when I was younger, I didn't really care really about politics or anything. And then you start getting older and lonelier. You start to care about like getting a girlfriend or something, and then you develop, you know, personalities based around trying to get a woman, or trying to get a partner, and and I would say probably in my 20s, and I was at mid 20s. I was a conservative, had a conservative way of thinking, um, but but it was kind of like what most conservatives, like young conservatives now, they don't really know what it is. Like, conservatism really is like is conservatism like you hate women. It's like because most of the time when leftists see a conservative, like, oh yeah, they hate women, but no, that's not really what it is. It really is just like um you you're like you care about religion, you care about your traditions and everything, and you want to conserve your money. You want to conserve your beliefs and resources, and all you do is care about your community and your family, and you want to take care of that. That's what it's really about. Like this version of Christianity, conservatives that young people are doing, ain't no conservative. They don't even know what it is. But anyway, when it comes down to it, yeah, it's just about like um, keep making sure if you have a family, it's a 2-parent household. It doesn't matter if they're gay, whatever. It matters that there's 2 parents in the household. And you put your kids first. You care about your kids' happiness. And then the marriage mostly isn't about love. It's about taking care of each other, needing each other. Women have a role, men have a role. And if they're okay, here's another thing that people gotta understand. I know people talk about gender roles and all stuff like that. We gotta get rid of them, but there's actually gender roles in a gay couple too. Yeah, because here's the thing. I'll explain this really fast. Gender and sex are 2 different things. Gender is like expression. So like you wear a dress or makeup, or if you wear like a fedora or whatever, that's gender expression. Like if you want to act feminine or masculine or whatever, that's gender. And then sex is like if you have a penis or vagina, that's sex. So when leftists say like there's no gender roles, there should be no gender roles, I was like, what are you talking about? if you're trans and you're acting, if you want to be a woman, that's a gender. So if you're like want to wear a dress or want to wear makeup, that's gender expression. So that is a gender role. What are you talking about? So if you take 2 gay men, one is feminine, one is masculine. If you take 2 women, one is feminine, one is masculine, and they both have gender roles, gender expression roles. So if you ever been around a lesbian couple, if you're like a good looking guy, you walk up to them, most of the time, the women get really like clingy. They start holding a woman closer. They're trying to, make sure you don't take my woman. So that's a masculine move. That's a gender role playing itself out. And if you check a trans woman or a trans man, because what makes a trans woman? What makes her a woman is that she wants to wear makeup, she wants to wear dresses, and she wants to have long hair, like she thinks a woman is. I guess that's why church don't like her. Okay. And what makes a man is a person that's masculine, muscular, and stuff like that, and has short hair. So that's gender expression. That's what we ideally think what a man should be or a woman should be. So that's a gender role. So even in a gay couple, there's gender roles. Even in a trans couple, there's gender roles. So I don't know. Sometimes people want to say stuff they don't even analyze what they're even saying. So it's just all about. So that's why I didn't really stay in those groups that long because I was noticing a lot of things wrong, like a lot of things that they wasn't even figuring out. And as for conservatism, it was all about hating women, and I would say I'm a little bit conservative still, but the good parts, the true conservatism. And then I would say that I wouldn't, because I used to be kind of like trying to learn about socialism, but now I was realizing that a lot of that stuff ain't gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. Capitalism is just better, because a lot of them socialist ideas like unions and all this stuff, they were racist. like Like there used to be white only unions. There used to be women only unions. Like feminism in the beginning was racist. Like black or any minority couldn't join a feminist group. The surrogate and all that crazy stuff. You know, first of all, like people understand that women's rights couldn't even happen without men. like, so the women would fight or whatever. The women were fighting for the rights, but it didn't. They didn't really make any like headway until the men got involved because it was time to fight. Now, when it was time to fight, they had the strength to fight, so they needed men at that point. And so yeah, women didn't get their rights until man said, "Okay, yeah, you can have your rights now." So they couldn't even do it by themselves. So the feminist move was racist. That's why the black women, the African American women started the movement called womenism. And it wasn't about like excluding men really. No, actually at all, really. It was more about, as a couple, keeping their rights as a couple, workers' rights and everything. So feminism is a leftist ideology, racist. Unions, leftist ideology, racist. And then a lot of times black people don't even need unions. If they're getting you don't need unions unless like you're not getting paid well, you don't have enough worker rights, you can't negotiate. That's when you need unions. But if everything's going well, you don't need a union. And then also I noticed how a lot of leftist socialists are white. A lot of them are like rich and white. Not always rich, but most of the time like upper class, like or even middle class, and don't even really need socialism. And a lot of times when they try to teach black people this socialism, they usually talk down to them. No, what do you talk? What's wrong with these black people? They don't want no socialism, you know. And they don't. Or the same thing to conservatives. What these black people don't want to don't they don't want to be on the plantation no more? It's always like condescending and all this stuff, like talking down to us and stuff, acting like we don't know what we need or something. And then the Black Lives Matter stuff. Black Lives Matter don't care about what the leftism, socialist revolution, all that dumb stuff. All they cared about is getting cops to stop killing them. That's all they cared about. It's always been about that. And in the protests, man, so many opinions I got about the protests, and Kyle Rittenhouse and everything. Protests, it's been a bad look on black people, even though we ain't even do it. So that's why that's when I was seeing that, when I was seeing these white people, white leftists, talking about how they love the protests and love the riots, and it was mostly them doing it, and I was like, man, you know what? I think black people get blamed for this again. Of course you can blame. Well, I don't know. I would say in the '60s, protests, riots were like inevitable. I ain't really gonna be. It was like justified. It was fine. But nowadays, like, if you riot thing, it's not a good idea. And here's the thing. Like, if you burn, let's say, okay, here's what they were doing. They were burning down, like, small businesses. Business ain't got nothing to do with it. And then you might say, well, nah, they would just burn down, like, corporation type businesses. I don't want to say the name, but, for copyright reasons. But, yeah, they were burning down, like, $1 billion businesses, franchise business. But guess what? People work at them businesses. So you talking about some workers' rights, but you burning around businesses that people work at. So if you burn down most of the time, if you're burning down a business,